While it is true that Ron Friedman and Glenn Lepard's Fantastic Four cannot be mentioned along the same lines as Spider-Man and X-Men the Animated Series, there's no denying that it did stay true to the comics and categorically delivered some of the most outstanding episodes. This particular animated Marvel series ran for 2 seasons from 1994 to 1996, generating a total of 26 episodes, and had on display gripping narratives, excellent character development, and a wide menagerie of indisputably powerful, formidable villains. With that being said, here's us taking a look at 13 fantastic and nostalgic episodes of Fantastic Four the Animated Series from the iconic 90s animated era. Are you ready to take a trip down memory lane with us? Well, without further ado, let's dive into the video then. But before we get into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you enjoy our content, then please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us it means a lot. Thank you, and let's begin. The origin of the Fantastic Four Part 1, Season 1, Episode 1. The first part premiere has the Fantastic Four appearing on a charity telethon hosted by Dick Clark, where the four are seen recalling the origin of their superpowers and particularly stressing their fateful experimental space trip. Add to this the four's very first battle against the highly brilliant but sinister Puppet Master. Truth be told, compared to the other villains featured in the series, Puppet Master isn't exactly the most exciting foe that the Fantastic Four have encountered. But having said that, he is the high point of this episode, and there are no second thoughts about it. Imagine someone with a surprisingly dangerous grasp over science and the ability to control other people through neurokinetic clay puppets of them. Well, that's Puppet Master for you. Add this to the unforgettable disco-themed opener, and dare we disagree, the janky animation by Wang Film Productions and Kennedy Cartoons. And there you have actually got yourself quite a banger. The origin of the Fantastic Four Part 2, Season 1, Episode 2. The second episode, which also happens to be the other half of the 2-part premiere, has the Fantastic Four carrying on with their story of how they had a face-off with the exceedingly complex and insidious Puppet Master, especially with the madam of a villain having turned the thing against his very team members, in the hopes of not only destroying the superpowered family, but also gaining full authority over the world. Fans will fondly remember this episode of the series, as it features the Thing falling in love with the Puppet Master's stepdaughter, Alicia Masters, thus giving birth to their love angle that would continue all throughout the series. As a direct adaptation of the 8th issue of Stan Lee's Fantastic Four comic, this episode is excellent, featuring an already menacing Puppet Master, one who is far more formidable than his comic counterpart. Well, if you are someone who has read the comics, you will remember that the villain's powers were restricted to one person at a time, and that too from a particular distance. The Puppet Master in the animated series has no such limitations, which merely points to the fact that the Puppet Master in the animated series appears to be way more powerful. Apart from creating scenarios that the Fantastic Four cannot fight their way out of, he is also seen manipulating them to fight against each other. The Silver Surfer and the Coming of Galactus, Parts 1 and 2, Season 1, Episode 5 and 6. This 2-parter episode has a strange visitor from another world known as the Watcher, warning the Fantastic Four of an oncoming threat, the Silver Surfer, or, in other words, the herald of the nearly indestructible planet devouring space giant Galactus. The Fantastic Four eventually learn that if the Silver Surfer ends up summoning his master, all of Earth will be destroyed. Of course, the superheroes are unable to stop the Silver Surfer from signaling Galactus, and to the utmost horror, they find Galactus gearing up to feast on every form of life force on Earth. While the only way to defeat Galactus briefly puts Johnny Storm's life in mortal danger, the Silver Surfer's loyalty towards his master is also seen to change after a chance encounter with Alice Masters. Well, it is only fair to address both Galactus and his herald as the high points of this 2-part episode. While Galactus truly shows how he is a threat to the whole cosmos, the Silver Surfer provides a presence of impending doom. Naturally, when we see the shift in the Silver Surfer's character dynamic, it is nothing less than remarkable. Story-wise, the 2-parter is quite engaging with near-perfect voice work, decent animation, and a nostalgic 90s vibe to it, thereby making The Silver Surfer and the Coming of Galactus a memorable installment in the series. Super Skrull, Season 1, Episode 7. When it particularly comes down to a race of green-skinned shapeshifters, or in other words, the Skrull, their only goal is to conquer Earth and get the better of the Fantastic Four. So it should not come as a surprise to you that this episode, Super Skrull, the Skrulls actually let loose their ultimate weapon against the Fantastic Four in the form of Super Skrull, a genetically engineered Skrull warrior possessing the combined powers of the Fantastic Four. In the world of comics, a superhero having to deal with his evil version is very common. But then again, when it comes down to Super Skrull, believe us when we tell you that he does take things to a whole new level. Mind you, he has all the powers of the Four and every power in their amplified form, on top of his natural shape-shifting abilities as a Skrull. The episode is noteworthy primarily because of the villain it features and the sole fact that this very villain manages to keep the viewers on the edge of their seats with his formidable presence. Also, every battle against the Super Skrull is an exhilarating test of teamwork and wits at the end of the day, so one also gets to witness strong character development and a gripping storyline in this episode.
Breathe fire! You tricked me! Not at all. You asked for
The Mask of Doom, Parts 1, 2, and 3, Season 1, Episodes 8, 9, and 10. In this 3-part special episode, Dr. Doom ends up capturing the Fantastic Four and imprisoning them inside his treacherous castle. While Sue learns about the past of Dr. Doom, the rest are put through a series of obstacles and eventually forced to do Dr. Doom's bidding, which is traveling back in time and laying their hands on an ancient casket for Doom within a span of 48 hours, or be responsible for the death of Sue at the hands of the supervillain. Well, when it comes down to the diverse rogues gallery of the Fantastic Four, Doom categorically stands out as the most iconic and impressive foe that the Four have ever faced. Of course, the ruler of Latveria has his reasons for being the greatest threat to the Four, and it is primarily his intense rivalry with former roommate Reed Richards that makes things more intriguing. In this 3-parter classic, Doom makes it pretty evident that he will always be the top villain to the Fantastic Four. In fact, this actually makes one wonder, what is it with his personality that manages to ooze charm and such delusion of grandeur both at the same time?
turn my crown, and then prepare to taste my wrath!
The Silver Surfer and the Return of Galactus, Season 1, Episode 13. The first season finale has Dr. Doom stealing the very powers of the Silver Surfer that were given to the Herald by his master. After Doom becomes empowered with cosmic power, he is almost rendered unstoppable. Can anything be done to stop him? Well, if you wish to find out whether Doom was successful in further stealing of the powers of Galactus, or if the planet devourer himself thwarted Doom's plans, you will have to watch this epic first season finale. The Fantastic Four animated series, The Silver Surfer and the Return of Galactus, is worth mentioning in today's list because the episode not only showcases a captivating storyline featuring the menacing adversary Dr. Doom and the mysterious Silver Surfer, but also brings back our beloved Planet Eater, aka Galactus, in his full glory. Of course, there's depth to the storyline and detail in the art. Action-wise, this episode is extremely well choreographed, and it is only fitting to state that Season 1 of the animated series ended with a bang. And a blind man shall lead them. Season 2, Episode 1. In the second season's premiere episode, the Fantastic Four find themselves in a direct predicament with a nuclear blast sparked by Dr. Doom causes them to lose their powers. Next, with Doom taking over the Baxter building, Reed is not able to restore the powers of his team, thus rendering them entirely defenseless. Well, all of that changes when the unexpected arrival of Daredevil, who is seen coming to the aid of the powerless Fantastic Four to help them retrieve their headquarters and get their powers back while exhibiting his own unique powers and resourcefulness in the process. There are plenty of things that make And a Blind Man Shall Lead Them a memorable episode. For starters, there's a sharp shift in the animation on display, and by this, we'd specifically like to stress on much improved character designs. Next, we have a highly entertaining storyline, and this particular run-in with Daredevil highlights the significance of heroic unity and support in the face of adversity. In fact, the character of Daredevil essentially brings an extra layer of mystery and bravery to the already engaging narrative, which is set against a backdrop that has our superhero team literally grappling with their vulnerability. Come to think of it, the premiere episode is quite compelling. Inhumane Saga, Parts 1, 2, and 3, Season 2, Episodes 2, 3, and 4. Inhumane Saga Part 1 and The Wind Cries Medusa has the wizard assembling Hydra Man, Trapster, and Medusa to form the Frightful Four in order to destroy the Fantastic Four. Part 1 of the 3-part special episode not only introduces the audience to the enigmatic Inhumanes while making us delve deeper into the very intricacies of the Inhumane society, but it also pretty much marked a momentous milestone in the Fantastic Four animated series by introducing the mysterious Medusa, or, in simple words, the romantic interest of the Human Torch. It is safe to say that And the Wind Cries Medusa did lay the basis for an engrossing story arc, one that is filled with intrigue and adventure. Inhumane Saga Part 2, The Inhumanes Among Us, is a standout episode in the series that deserves to be watched primarily for its fascinating depiction of the clash between the Fantastic Four and the Inhumanes. Part 2 of the 3-part saga successfully catches both teams' power dynamics, masterfully balancing the action with character development. This particular episode demonstrates the series' ability to develop attention-grabbing storytelling and some epic confrontations. Inhumane Saga Part 3, Beware the Hidden Land, not only happens to be the winner in this 3-part special episode, but it also happens to be one of the best episodes of this entire series in general. The plotline of this episode has the Fantastic Four uniting forces with the Inhumanes to thwart the scheme of Black Bolt's treacherous and cunning brother, Maximus. There is adventure, drama, action, and some very intricate character dynamics featuring in the last chapter of the Inhumanes saga. It is only fitting to state that Beware the Hidden Land offers viewers a rather riveting experience, cementing its place as a crucial episode in the series. To Battle the Living Planet, Season 2, Episode 6. What makes To Battle the Living Planet one of the finest episodes of the animated series is that the episode first has the Fantastic Four joining hands with the mighty Thor to take down the enormous and exceedingly powerful being Ego. But with the living planet proving a tad too powerful, even against the combined might of the Four and the God of Thunder, the heroes end up enlisting the help of their greatest adversary, one that happens to be none other than the planet devourer himself, Galactus. Well, with the right mix of action, humor, and imagination, the episode has Ego proving himself to be a worthy villain, and his ominous presence adds depth to an already compelling narrative. The animation on display is sharper, the voice acting is spot on, and the episode in particular feels more action-packed. Also, the fact that Galactus, in spite of being on the same team, continues to give one the feeling of impending doom makes this episode a cherished installment in the Fantastic Four animated series.
Motion is evident. Then we must be faster.
Prey of the Black Panther, Season 2, Episode 7. Staying true to the episode title, Marvel's iconic hero, the Black Panther, lures the Fantastic Four to Wakanda, where he tests each member of the superhero quartet. Well, of course there's a reason behind the Black Panther testing his mettle against the combined might of the Four, and we soon learn he's doing so primarily to have the Fantastic Four fight his arch-nemesis, Ulysses Klaue, and, in turn, save his entire nation. Well, it goes without saying that the highlight of this episode undoubtedly happens to be the character of Black Panther, and may we also add his unparalleled combat prowess here that is on display. With some powerful action sequences and nifty plot twists, Prey of the Black Panther proves to be quite a thrilling tale. Also, if we are not mistaken, this particular episode is basically an adaptation of the 52nd and 53rd issue of the Fantastic Four comic, which means both the stories were pulled from Stan Lee and Jack Kirby's heyday. Also, actor Keith David did a fabulous job voicing Black Panther, thereby adding authenticity to the character in every possible way. When Calls Galactus, Season 2, Episode 6. Often regarded as the greatest episode of the entire series, When Calls Galactus has Johnny meeting a girl who possesses the same power as him. On the other hand, Galactus's new herald, Terrax, demands that the Fantastic Four fight the planet devourer, with the Four eventually learning that Galactus was betrayed and poisoned by the treacherous Terrax. They realize they have no options left but to take on the cosmic entity, or, in other words, their deadliest foe, before he ends up consuming Earth. First things first, the episode features high-stakes action sequences along with in-depth character development, making one point towards the masterful storytelling that is on display. The fast-paced episode also delivers exciting and memorable encounters with iconic characters such as Thor and the Ghost Rider. The epic battle on display showcases the resilience and courage of our heroic team. Last but not least, Ghost Rider was simply badass, and when it comes to choosing him, or his penance stare for that matter, it will always be a tie. Those who have seen the episode will agree with us on this. Nightmare in Green, Season 2, Episode 9. Nightmare in Green has Dr. Doom manipulating the unstoppable Jade Giant into fighting the Fantastic Four, but that only hurts Ben Grimm's pride when the Hulk beats him. So, what happens when the Thing gets in the way of a rampaging Hulk? Well, this is exactly what is shown in this episode. Of course, there's no point in guessing that the title itself points one in the direction that the episode features an iconic showdown between the Hulk and the Thing, and the clash effectively reminds fans of the classic Marvel Comics conflicts. While it is true that Night in Green is packed with a thrilling spectacle of superhero action, this noteworthy episode here effectively captures the very essence of the character on display with its intriguing storyline. Doomsday, Season 2, Episode 13. The series finale, Doomsday, categorically ranks among the standout episodes of Fantastic Four, the animated series. As part of the narrative, the menacing Dr. Doom acquires the almighty power cosmic and becomes all-powerful once again. Will the Fantastic Four be able to stop him this time? Well, that is for you to learn after you watch the classic episode. When you have Dr. Doom threatening to unleash chaos upon the world, and the Fantastic Four coming face to face with their most formidable adversary, you do realize it is going to be pretty intense. With compelling character dynamics, a gripping storyline, and some extreme action on display, Doomsday effectively captures the whole spirit of the series, managing to leave a lasting effect on the fans. Marvelous verdict. Well, that's all for today, and with this, we finally come to the end of our video here. So, which of the episodes mentioned in the list were your favorites and why? Also, did your favorite Fantastic Four, the animated series episode make it to our list? We would love to know your thoughts in the comment section down below, and we sincerely hope that you have gotten your fill of nostalgia for today. Now, if you enjoyed this video, you know what to do. Please do leave a thumbs up and stay tuned with us as we promise to come back with more exciting content. Till then, goodbye and thanks for watching. Have a nice one.